My brother-in-law's grandfather, named Song Tao, was a Linsheng. Linsheng, in the imperial examination system, is a candidate with excellent grades who receives a state stipend. One day, while bedridden due to illness, he saw a minor official holding a post and leading a horse with a white mark on its forehead come to him. The official said to him, "Please come to take the exam." Song Tao replied, "The examiner hasn't arrived yet, why are we taking the exam now?" The official didn't say much, only urged Song Tao to set off. Song Tao had no choice but to ride the horse, despite his illness, and follow him. The road they took was very unfamiliar, and they arrived at a city that seemed like a royal capital. In a flash, he and the official entered the royal palace, where the halls were extremely splendid and magnificent. In the main hall sat a dozen or so officials, none of whom he recognized, except for the deity Guandi. Under the eaves outside the hall were 2 tables and 2 stools, with 1 scholar already seated there. Song Tao then sat beside the scholar, with pens and paper placed on the tables. Shortly, the exam questions were distributed, with 8 characters, 1 person, 2 people, with intention, without intention. After a while, both completed their essays and submitted them to the hall. Song Tao's essay included the line, "To do good with intention, though good, receives no reward, to do evil without intention, though evil, receives no punishment." The deities passed around his essay and praised it highly. Then they summoned Song Tao to the hall and decreed, "Hunan lacks a city god, you are very suitable." Upon hearing this, Song Tao realized and immediately knelt, crying, "Great deity, you have mistakenly favored me, asking me to be a city god. I dare not refuse, but I have an elderly mother over 70 years old with no one to care for her. I request to serve her until she passes, and then take up the position." A person who looked like an emperor sat in front and called for the lifespan record of Song Tao's mother to be checked. A bearded official brought the book, checked it, and reported, "She has 9 more years of life." The deities hesitated, unable to decide, until Guandi said, "Let Zhangxing temporarily take the position for 9 years." He then told Song Tao, "You should take up the position immediately, but considering your filial piety, you are granted a 9-year leave. You will be summoned when the time comes." Guandi then encouraged the scholar with a few words, and the 2 candidates bowed and left the hall. The scholar shook Song Tao's hand and escorted him to the outskirts, introducing himself as Zhang from Changshan County, and composed a farewell poem for Song Tao. The exact words were forgotten, but he remembered this line, "With flowers and wine, spring is always present, without candles or lamps, the night is naturally bright." Song Tao mounted his horse, bade farewell, and returned home. When Song Tao arrived home, it was as if he woke from a dream. He had been dead for 3 days. His mother heard groaning from the coffin. She opened the coffin to find him awake, helped him out, and he sat dazed for half a day before speaking. Later, upon inquiring in Changshan County, it was found that a scholar named Zhang had indeed died on that very day. 9 years later, Song Tao's mother indeed passed away. After arranging her funeral, Song Tao bathed, donned new clothes, entered the house, and died. One day, his father-in-law, who lived inside the west gate of the city, suddenly saw Song Tao riding a horse with a red tassel, accompanied by many carriages, coming to bid farewell. The family was shocked, not knowing he had become a deity, and hurried to Song Tao's house to inquire, only to find out he had passed away. Song Tao had written a brief biography, but unfortunately, it was lost during the turmoil of war. This account is just a rough summary.